end. It comes out to Tom James. Good job! Oh, what a goal! What a goal from Tom James! Oh, that was special!
Orient Live pundits were stirring, but just only Glen. Unfortunately, Jabo is caught in a little bit of traffic, so it's just myself and Glen Wilkie for this afternoon's pre-match fixture. But thankfully, Andrew Butler has also stepped in live from his bedroom, and it's a big game today. Hello, Andrew. The bedroom's looking lovely.
Thanks, Ollie. You'll see. There is an Orient shirt up there. That's not been done. That's not done deliberately. That's always there. It's a permanent fixture.
Just a true fan. And of course, it's a massive game for the O's today. Looking to build on last week's win over Cheltenham, that late smash and grab, as we're facing Bolton at the Toughsheet Community Stadium. Yes, you heard that right. It is a big game, though, for the O's, and would be really good to pick up another 3 points after what was a really tough 2 months. Maybe we'll come on to last week's performance, but we can use it to springboard and hopefully pick up some more.
Yeah, I think when you say a big game, everything's a big game, isn't it? 3 points is 3 points. But I think today, the many people expect us to go up there and win against a really good Bolton team. I don't think a lot of supporters do. They're hopeful that we will, but it's not a free hit. But it'd be nice to come away from Bolton with some kind of point or points. But it'll be a very, very tough game. But I'm hopeful, really hopeful.
I'm glad you are, Glen, because the three of us watched that Cheltenham game last week, Andrew. Let's not sugarcoat it. It wasn't a great performance. It was a great 3 points. But Richie even said in his post-match interview that he's performance-focused and he wasn't best pleased with that game. So I'm guessing we've got to try and build on that and put on a good performance today.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like you said, we were nowhere near our best. It was a poor performance, and Richie was keen to stress that we were all watching the same game, and we knew it wasn't good enough. What we said though last Saturday, I remember on the stream, was that we could take some confidence, obviously, from the 3 points, and enjoy our Saturday nights and our Sunday mornings. But come the Monday, the work had to begin on the training ground, and so hopefully this week that has happened. It's obviously going to be a very busy period, but like we said last Saturday, it's a busy period for every team in the leagues as well. So it'll be interesting to see how we kick off our Christmas period, because this is going to be a tricky game. Charlton on Boxing Day will also be a tough one, and then we've got Wycombe. So it'll be great, like Glenn said, to get off the mark in the Christmas period with some points, give the fans something to cheer about, obviously going into Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. But it will be a very tricky affair this afternoon.
It certainly will, but let's not get ahead of ourselves and look at future fixtures. Let's focus on the game in hand today. And Richie has opted for a number of changes ahead of this game. It's 4, in fact. And let's take a look at how the O's are lining up now. Sticking with his man in between the sticks, it's our number 1, it's Sol Bryn. We have number 2, Tom James. Number 5, Dan Happy. 8, Jordan Brown. 9, Joe Pigott. 10, Ruel Sotiriou. 11, Theo Archibald. 17, Shaq Ford. The captain, number 19, Omar Beckles. 22, Ethan Galbraith. And 32, Rob Hunt. And on the bench for the O's is Sam Howes, Ed Turns, Dan Adjie, George Wonker, Idris El Mazouni, Darren Prattley and Max Sanders. Now, a very interesting team selection there, really. We've spent the last 5-10 minutes trying to work out how it's going to shape up. There's a number of ways, Glenn, and it's gone maybe light in midfield, or is it? How's it going to look?
The way I'm looking at it is, it looks like we're going to play 3 at the back or 5 at the back, depending which way you want to look at it. I think it's probably more of a 5, because Bolton are the second highest scorers in the league, so that they are very threatening going forward. So I think we've got the extra body there. Now, who plays in that that three, possibly Hunt or Tom James, and who plays right wing back. Again, one of those we think. I think we'll see Galbraith and Brown playing together just in front of the back three, and then obviously we've got the forwards and the wide men. But I just think it's that extra bit of cover. We know it's going to be 20,000+ people at Bolton. They're off the back of 2 bad results as well. The expectation level for them is high. They want to get out of this league, so the crowd will be behind them. So it'll be one of those games, I think, where they'll have a lot of the ball. They'll keep attacking us. We just need to be disciplined, get bodies behind the ball. And the good thing about our team, and you look at our forwards, wide men in Theo, we're very, very good and very dynamic and quick on the break. And I think that's the way we might play today, is just soak up a bit of pressure, be disciplined, and then when we do win the ball, we break fast and we try and hit Bolton that way. But I do think it will be a back five.
Any arguments with that, Andrew?
No, I think one point that I wanted to mention was that Ethan Galbraith and Shackford coming in will give a lot of encouragement, I think, to players who might have been in and out of the side a little bit. They completely changed the game last Saturday, and with them both coming into the team, it kind of gives a kick up the backside, I think, to other players who might not have been performing, and says to the players who have been slightly out of the team a little bit, that those opportunities will come, but also if you take those opportunities, then future opportunities will come to you as too. So that's kind of a good thing, I suppose. I think hopefully it's not a completely reactionary thing, like, oh, they had 10 good minutes at the end of a game that we should have been winning anyway. But no complaints in terms of the way that we'll line up. I think it will be an interesting one. It's a little bit like a chopping and changing type thing once again, but that is the nature of this league. It's not like last season in League Two when we could just play more or less the same 11 against every team and expect to win. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this one.
And I mean, Glenn, I know you've said that we'll soak up the pressure and try and hit them on the break, but I mean, if you want to look at it in a different light, it's actually a fairly attacking lineup as well. You've got 3 out-and-out strikers there. One of your 2 midfielders in Ethan Galbraith is more of he's a number 10. You've got Theo playing at left back. There's a lot of attacking outlets throughout that starting 11.
Definitely. I'm intrigued to see how we set up. I really am. We've put down on paper, we've got the team sheet, but we don't know what shape, tactics, when we've got the ball or when we don't have the ball that they're going to be playing to. It is a good attacking sort of team, and you can look at it and say very defensive as well in the same sort of sentence, but it looks very good. When I say I think we'll be soaking up pressure and then hitting them on the attack, I could be completely wrong. We may have the majority of the ball like we've done in games previous this season and keep the ball and pass it well, but I just think that there's going to be spells in the game where Bolton are going to have the ball for a long period of time, and this team with that attacking threat, I think it's geared up for us of really going fast and pushing fast and being dynamic, especially with Ford starting. He's pretty quick. We saw what he did last week when he came on the pitch, getting the ball up to that front three early and giving them the space to run at the attacking defenders. Does that make sense? Sorry, the opposition defenders. I think that really plays into our hands. So that's the way I see it going, but I could be completely wrong.
Well, Andrew, we know you've got a train to catch up north. Thank you for helping us out and stepping in so last minute, because Jabo is with us very shortly. Just before you go, what are you expecting from today, really? Because we've touched on last week's performance against Cheltenham. Does it paper over the cracks? It's not been pretty per se in recent weeks, where the results haven't been flowing. Are you confident the O's can go and get a positive result today?
I think we can. I think we've traditionally played a little bit better against the better opposition, let's say, this season. And Bolton are, I think, there to be got at. They've lost recently to Portsmouth and Bristol Rovers. They've had some eye-catching results, the ones against Exeter and Harrogate in the FA Cup. Certainly ones that you look at on paper and go, wow, they've got goals in their team too. But I think they can be there. They can be got at this afternoon. So hopefully we'll be positive, much more positive than we were against Cheltenham last Saturday. That's for sure. And fingers crossed for a good result. And hopefully my train will run on time.
Well, fingers crossed your train runs on time, and have a wonderful Christmas, my friend. I'm loving the Christmas haircut. as well, looking very smart indeed. Thanks for joining again, and we'll see you at some point before the new year, I believe.
Yeah, I'll be there on the 29th for that game, the Friday night fixture. Can't wait.
See you when we face Wickham. Have a safe travels, Andrew. Well, top stuff there from Andrew stepping in, but we do have Jabo ready and waiting to join us. So while we get him in, let's take a look at some of the fantastic work the club have been doing with local hospitals over this festive period.
Yeah, so we've been obviously at Whips Cross Hospital today to obviously deliver presents to the children here, and obviously see what good work they're doing within this unit as well. So it's refreshing to see obviously the smiles on their faces when lads are giving out presents as well. So yeah, been a good day.
Leighton Orient's foundations are built around being a community football club, and you know, the children in here are the next generation of fans and people in the local area, and you know, they support us all year round, and so I think it's great that there are these initiatives in place for players to come and, you know, say hello, introduce themselves, and yeah, just give a little bit back.
To have teams coming in, taking their time away from their normal day-to-day activities, coming to share the love and whatever they have is really rewarding, I think, and I truly want to thank them for coming. So I would like continuing support of this, because everybody looks forward to when the footballers come, and that's really exciting.
How difficult is it when you've been out for so long? Is it for you not to be physically fit, but to sort of be mentally sharp and stuff on the pitch? How much time does that take?
For me personally, I feel like it's not too long. It's something that you have to be aware about. But for me personally, I'm just always trying to stay mentally switched on. And, you know, I spent a lot of time out watching the lads and so on and so forth. So I can kind of see what I could do in that situation. So when it comes, I'm ready.
And what was your assessment of Saturday as a whole, really?
It was a frustrating game, tough game, but at the end of the day we got 3 points. It wasn't the prettiest game to play in, but it's the points that mattered, and at the end of the day we got the 3 points. But we need to obviously use that as a platform moving forward, and just try and put in better performances.
What's the mood been like around the training ground since Saturday?
Yeah, it's been a positive one. You know, it's always nice to win games, and you know, it's nice that we won. But now our focus is on Bolton on Saturday to try and get another 3 points there.
What can we expect from them?
Oh, well, we know that Bolton are a strong team, they're a tough team. They're good going forward, and they're good at the back. They're high up at the table, and there's a reason for that. So we just need to try and play our way and try and impose our style on them and try and get the 3 points.
Well, it's been a little bit of mayhem here in the studio, but we're delighted to have Jabo fresh from sitting in his traffic jam. But pleasure to have you, Jabo. Thanks, we'll throw you straight in the deep end then, and we'll just get your thoughts on a big game against Bolton today, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a big game, but it's the games you want to be in. You know, fantastic stadium. They've had a great history of obviously being in the Premier League a few years back. But you know, it's the games you want to be in, the stadiums you want to go to. So hopefully they'll thrive on it, and the encouragement from the weekend's victory, hopefully they can build upon that. And
we just heard from Dan Adji there. He's on the bench today. He led the line last week, but he's obviously an impact sub today. Hopefully, it's kind of testament to the squad now to show what options we've got upfield. Shaq Ford came on and really changed the game. We've got Ruel Sotiriou who can provide something out of nothing. Joe Pigott got a fantastic part in the build-up last week. So it must be quite hard for Richie to pick his strikers. And obviously being a striker yourself, it must be annoying for the strikers when you maybe don't get a chance to have a constant run of games.
Yeah, I mean, it can get frustrating, but at the same time, you know, that's the nature of the beast, isn't it? As a striker, you have to score, you have to sort of have some sort of impact on the game. And he's coming up from injuries, finding his feet, so they don't want to do too much because it might affect his muscles and get another different sort of injury. But having those options to make those changes and add a different sort of attack, because they will bring something slightly different, is good for Richie.
I felt a bit sorry for him last week in the first half because he played central, and we know last year when he was at Crewe, he came off the wings, whether it would be a left wing or the right wing a bit more. And last week in the first half, we were really poor because we tried to get him isolated with their centre-halves and hit long balls to him to sort of use his pace, so to speak, so he could get him behind them. But the quality of our passing last week, and with the wind, it was really gusty. Every ball went through to their goalkeeper, it overran and it went off for a goal kick. So I felt sorry for him. He didn't really get the ball to his feet or get the opportunities to sort of show what he could do, So he probably, I think the only positive last week for him was he came through, what did he play, 60 minutes? Yeah. Came through 60 minutes unscathed on his comeback from injury. That's the positive you can take from it. And as the weeks go on and the games go on, he'll have, we know in this Christmas period, is it 4 games in 10 days, something like that? He'll get an opportunity to start, no doubt. They'll mix and match it depending on what happens today. I'm sure he'll start a game in the next 1 or 2 games and he'll show us what he can really do.
Yeah. Well, and do you think it's maybe a case of him not fitting the system we're going for today potentially? Because last week it was a back 4, wasn't it? And you've got wide players. Maybe he can drift a bit. Do you think that maybe is that an indication of how Richie might be attacking Bolton today?
I don't think it really is regarding the system for him, because Ford, if you're a forward, you come off the bench, you score, you do well with that. If you're dropped the next game, you're going to be knocking on the manager's door and saying, like, why am I not getting a shot here? Yeah. I just think for Ford, he had to put him in. I think he'll give Ford those minutes. Obviously, with Adji, they're monitoring his minutes from this injury, so maybe he played a bit longer than he should have last week. Who knows how he's trained this week? It's about the recovery and stuff, and they might have said, look, you're not ready to go in again, or we want to go with Ford because he scored a goal. He will come off the bench today. I'm sure he will come off the bench today, and like you say, could be a real good impact player.
Let's talk about your boy Jabo Shack for you see a lot
Feed the Shack.
You see a lot in him, and he did change a game last week. He got a goal, whether it was an own goal or not. I believe it's 4 goals now. And I think he's probably only started about 4 times as well. His goals to minutes ratio must be one of the highest in the league. He's probably gone a little bit under the radar in terms of scoring some important goals, hasn't he?
Yeah, I mean, when he does come on or when he does score, they're actually vital goals and really important goals. I just think that in and around the box, you give him a chance. He just seems to go into those areas that, I think it's just announced that you have as a striker, to go in those dangerous areas and just be present, and I know he can finish. Just sometimes the frustration with him, I think, is that you look at his sort of body language, come on, you could give me a bit more, but you have to forget that about him. Inside the box is where he makes his money and where he does his work, and I just believe in him so much. And the more he scores, hopefully he'll get more run of games, then you can start seeing the real player that he can be.
I remember a game when he started, I can't remember who it was, against this season, and me and you were sat in the stand watching him, and we were having a chat about him as the game was going on. And we were getting a little bit frustrated with his anticipation of where the ball was going to go and his runs when he should go a bit earlier than what he was. But that will come with experience. You seem to forget how old these players are sometimes, and how much exactly, and how much exposure they've had to first team football. Yes, he played last year. Was it Lincoln he was at? York. And he got games. But I remember us saying, like, he needs to go there, or he needs to do this a bit earlier. But he's 19 years old. The reason he's here is to learn the game, learn the trade, play some minutes, and every day he's working with more experienced players and coaches and different coaches. They'll pick up on that and they'll help him along.
I think the more he sort of does get the run of games and starts playing, he'll start to read the eyes of the wide men when he thinks he's going to anticipate when they're going to cross, so those runs become on the money a lot sharper. When you're in and out, you just lose that rhythm a bit. But as a striker, you earn it by getting those goals or getting those performances or coming off and making a difference. Then you kind of get your allowance, and hopefully you'll start to build on that. Well, hopefully he can add to his goal tally this afternoon, but it is tough opposition in the shape of Bolton Wanderers. But it is that most wonderful time of the year. And of course, today, if you're watching live on our YouTube stream,
then international fans, you can pick up a streaming pass to watch along with us on Orient Live, and UK fans, you can get an audio pass to listen along with Dave Victor and Matt Hiscock. But it is that festive period, and that brings big news. It means the next 3 games for the O's are coming thick and fast, and they're also available to stream in the UK and internationally. So you can pick up a streaming pass for all 3 of these games for £30. So that is our game against Charlton at home, then Wycombe at home, and then Cambridge away on New Year's Day. That game against Wycombe is of course a 7:45 kickoff in the evening, and tickets are on sale for that one. So just head over to the Orient website for all the information on that. But looking back to today's game and the opposition of Bolton Wanderers, and let's take a look and see how they are lining up for this afternoon's game. So in goal for Bolton, we'll bring it up just here. We have Nathan Baxter, and then we have number 2, Gethin Jones, number 3, Jack Iredale, number 4, George Thomason, number 8, John Sheehan, number 9, John Daddy Bodvarsson, number 10, Dion Charles, 12, Josh Dakers-Cogley, number 15, Will Forrester, 18, Owen Toll, and 22, Kyle Dempsey. And on the bench for Bolton is Carlos Mendes-Gomez, Victor Adebayejo, the former Orient youth product. We have Aaron Morley, Parish Magoma, Zach Ashworth, Randall Williams, and Cameron Jeromes. So that's how the home side are shaping up for this afternoon's fixture. And I mean, they're a massive club. I think we've already touched on it. There's going to be 20,000 fans in that stadium. Premier League in years gone by as well. Shouldn't have really dropped down to League 2 as they did, but they're a threat this season as well, and they're looking on the up.
Yeah, they're looking on the up. I mean, they've come off the back of a fantastic run. I mean, they've lost the last 2 games, but prior to that, they won some crazy unbeaten run. But we can kind of catch them while they're still sort of trying to sort of start their little surge again. And you know, they like to play out from the back and build a little bit. But if we can press them early, and whilst they haven't got the same confidence they had a few weeks ago, maybe we can capitalise on that.
It's interesting. Do you look at it and go, this is a really good time to play them? They've just lost 2 in the bounce, or do you go, they've just lost 2 in the bounce, they're looking to bounce back? It's probably going to be a tough one either way, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's probably a bit easier than having JJ Okocha in their side and Yuri Julkayev World Cup winners. They're a good side. It's a really good side. We know from our own personal sort of experiences this season with what Orient team turn up. When we're on it, regardless of who we play, when we're on it, everyone's firing, and we play to the way the manager wants us to play. Sometimes we're unplayable and we're really, really good. The same is probably for Bolton. They went on that amazing run, like Jabo said, but they've lost them last 2 games. There's a bit of confidence. It's probably taken a bit of a knock. The belief has gone a little bit, whereas you know what it's like, running out on the pitch, full of confidence. It's like, you know you're going to score, you're going to win, whatever. These last 2 games has brought them back down to earth a little bit. And it's a perfect time for us to go up to, I was going to call it a Reebok, but what was it called?
Toughsheet.
Toughsheet. Oh, right, okay, I'll be careful with that one.
Don't say it too quick.
No, exactly. But it's a great time to go up there and play them. It's what, as a footballer, you go up there, you go to an amazing stadium like that. It's a nice big pitch. It looks like a really good surface as well. These are the games you live for. If you don't and you get intimidated or you're nervous in a bad way, under the nervous energy, you shouldn't be playing football. This is what you live for as a footballer, you know.
Well, you might be a little bit nervous, so you'd be forgiven for being nervous if you look at some of the football that Bolton play. And we'll take a look at some of their goals now, Jabo, and we've looked at, or we've seen goals conceded in recent weeks where maybe we haven't closed down quick enough. Defences maybe could have done a bit better, and Bolton look like a side that could punish us if we're not on our game today.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they're a team that definitely shoot on sight, in and around the box. They don't hesitate, and you see some of the strikes here. You know, anything around the box when it's laid back, they're striking. There's some fantastic, emphatic finishes there. But we just have to be on our money. We have to keep it tight. We have to sort of like engage and try and like if we know what foot they're striking with, their favoured foot, can we just take them onto the opposite foot? So. But, you know, they scored a lot of goals. I think they scored the most goals barring Peterborough in the league. So, you know, they're a good side. But like I said, I think if there's a fair time to play them, I think it's now.
Are you getting nervous after seeing some of these goals, Glen?
Not really. It's really bad defending from all them teams they're playing. So as long as we defend okay today, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. Nothing to worry about.
Do you think this is why we think that Richie opted for a back five then? Because we are, you said it early, but we are going to have to be really defensively and need all that help in the back five or three you can get. Yeah,
definitely, and it's just defending in numbers then. So you've got the three centre halves, you pull the two wing backs in to come as a five, you'll have the two holding midfielders in front. So then you've got a bank of like 7 players there, you know, and you can just, we saw from them goals there was a lot of balls from outside the box getting struck in, or they're slipping it down the side. If we can just really play narrow and force them out wide. Let's go, right, you have the ball, but you've got to go wide. You ain't scoring from out there. We've got numbers in the box. Just try and fill them gaps where the balls have been played through. I think with the numbers we're going to have, and hopefully we play that way, we should be all right. We just need to be disciplined. It'll be frustrating. The crowd will get on our back. No silly yellows, no silly red cards early doors. Because as we said last week, it's a lot tougher to play with 10 men, and especially there. I think I like the look of the side. I think the shape we're going to play is ideal. Obviously, Richie knows better than all of us. He'll be working on that all week. And as they say, the hay is in the barn.
It certainly is.
Like that one.
That's for our American friends.
Well, your NFL buddies love that one. I have no idea what you're talking about. Let's remind ourselves of how the O's are lining up. There's just under 5 minutes to go until kickoff. And in what we think will be a back five, we have Solbrin in goal, and then just in front of him in that five, we believe is Tom James, Dan Happy, and Omar Beckles, who's wearing the armband, as our 3 centre-backs. In the wing-back positions, could most likely be Theo Archibald and Rob Hunt. In midfield, we have Jordan Brown and Ethan Galbraith. And then in the attacking positions, we have Shatford, Ruel Satiru, and our number 9, Joe Pigott. And on the bench for the O's is Sam Howes, Ed Turns, Dan Adji, George Moncur, Idris Omazuni, Darren Pratley, and Max Sanders. And we might not have many centre midfielders on the pitch. We've got 3 incredible centre midfielders on the bench. So there's just quite a lot of quality on the bench. George Moncur, Dan Adji. There's a lot of power to corners should be needed.
Yeah, definitely, and that's the sign of of a good team, of a good squad. Suddenly now you can look back and think, oh, wow, if I need to make a change, I can pick on this person, that person. They've got loads of experience, and he knows who he can trust there.
Some real quality on the ball in place as well. We've spoken about our attacking outlets throughout the team, but even in defence, you've got ball players like Tom James and Dan Happy. We've seen Jordan Brown growing on his quality on the ball as well. Are you starting to see an Orient side with maybe trying to learn this League One game and getting a bit more accustomed to this League One game, and hopefully after? I've seen you pull the face.
I know, I've gone like that only because the names you just named played last year. They've played a lot of games in the Football League. Yes, albeit League 2, TJ's played at League 1 level. They are very good footballers. They know what they need to be doing, and it's just, I always go back to discipline, and I've said it a lot already, is be disciplined. When you have the ball, any place on the pitch, if your right back's got the ball, he's got 3 passes where he's going to go. Same with the centre backs, and you work off of that. As long as we stick to what we should be doing, I think we should be fine. A little bit of luck would be great, but my prediction today is Ruel will score.
Well, you were bang on last week, weren't you? But I was going to ask, because obviously last week was a smash and grab, some might call it, and then you go, we haven't won for a month, 2 months before that. But they were good performances. They were good draws against the likes of Barnsley and Wigan. And we were, as I was saying, we were growing to that League 1 football. And now we've got that win and maybe broken that bad spell of form. Do you now maybe look and go, we can kick on. We can try and use that to build on.
Definitely, but we've had spells already. The first block of games at the beginning of the season, we struggled. Then we went on a run and accumulated a good number of points. Then we went on a little bit of a dip again, but we were picking up points like the draws. There was a good few draws in there. At the moment, the expectations of the club and the board is mid-table. We're currently there. We're going to win games. We're going to lose games. We're going to draw games. It's just you don't want to have long periods of time without that win. So then sort of the rot does set in and you go the opposite way. It's just picking up points along the way.
Well, Jabo, we've got to hand over very quickly. But which way do you see it going? Orient getting 3 points today?
Yeah, I hope so.
That's all we need to know. Right, then the teams are making their way out onto the pitch at the Toughsheet Community Stadium. So let's hand over to our match of Dave Victor and Matt Hiscock.
Good afternoon and welcome to Bolton. The last time Orient returned from here with maximum points was September 1970. But the O's have enjoyed life on the road recently and they're looking to extend a 5-match unbeaten run in the league against a side who have lost back-to-back games for the first time in over a year. And Matt Hiscock, I believe whoever scores first could be so important.
Well, there's no doubt about it. There's more pressure on Bolton Wanderers this afternoon than there is on the O's. A team that is looking for promotion, automatic promotion as well. Lost 2 on the bounce, albeit I watched the game they had at Portsmouth. It looked as though they performed well that evening, but this afternoon I think there will be more pressure on them. They're at home, a decent crowd, 20,000 plus inside the stadium. Orient are going to have to do a lot of defending. They're going to have to stay disciplined. Be interesting to see if the game plan is to go with 5 at the back or whether it will be a 4. We'll find out shortly. But I think Bolton will see a lot of the ball. Orient will try and soak up the pressure. And who knows, it could be an afternoon where the O's look to hit on the counter.
The Trotters